Hey, it's Brenna, and welcome to week 3, part 2 of NaNoWriMo. Today is November 19th. It's Thursday. It's about 10 after 12 in the afternoon, and I've had a pretty productive morning. I feel a lot better. And so this morning I've written 678 words, and I'm not done writing. I just took a quick break, and I'm going to be getting back to it pretty soon here. But I wanted to get on and start this vlog. I feel like my last couple, like the last week, I've been really down and my energy's been really low. So I'm going to try and fix that because I do feel a lot better. Today I need to film a video and I need to get some more writing in. So far today, I've put the final touches on the week 3 part 1 video. Cats. But I put the final touches on my video and I already uploaded it. So it is available if you would like to watch it. I always link the playlist for my whole months so far of my NaNoWriMo vlogs. If you're interested, they're in the cards. You're making this difficult. He does not care anything about me until I start filming. Something about filming, and he's all like, "What are you doing? Why are you sitting there? Who are you talking to?" But yeah, I've had a pretty productive day so far. I've done some dishes and some laundry and, just trying to make up for sitting around and not doing much of anything since Saturday. So I'll check back in when I've written a little more. Hello, it is November 20th, and I'm just checking in for the day. I haven't started writing because I've realized I've been a little bit off of my outline. And I said before in my my Preptober video that I put out about outlining that I don't outline too much, just a little bit, like they travel to this point, or they go have lunch, or there's a meeting about this, there's a fight scene. Like, I don't really put too much into it. Just give myself, like a vague path to follow to get to the end of the book. Because generally speaking, I know how I want the book to end. I just don't necessarily know how I want to get there. And the problem, and it's not a problem, but the issue I've come up with at this point is that right now, when I was writing yesterday, I wrote a whole lot yesterday. I wrote over 2,000 words, and I was really into the scene that I was writing, and I kind of wanted to keep going, but I had to go pick the kids up from school. I didn't have time. But the problem that I've come to today when I'm going to sit down to write is I've now completely come off of what I have outlined, like specifically, right? Like, there was an issue, they captured somebody, they kind of interrogated that person, and then from there, XYZ was supposed to happen. But I give myself a lot of freedom when I'm writing, because when I made the outline, I left a lot of freedom in there. So there was the capture, and then they're going to talk to the guy. And as I'm talking, like the characters are just talking in my head. And where they left me at the end of the chapter is not leading into my next chapter that I've got written down. In fact, I'm both ahead of where I need to be and behind, if that makes sense. I'm ahead in the sense that conversations that they're not supposed to have yet, they have already had. I had penciled in, okay, we'll find the reason for this here, contact this person here, and that's like in the upcoming chapter. I did all that last chapter. Now, the last chapter that I wrote is right now over 3,000 words. And I mentioned before in another vlog clip, I think it was last week's, or the beginning of week 3, I really can't remember at this point. The word count for each chapter ends up being somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 words. And this last chapter that I wrote is over 31,000. So there's a good chance that I might end up having to cut some of it and kind of rearrange the chapters, maybe put a little bit in the last chapter, or maybe bring some up into the next chapter I'm writing. I'm really not sure yet. It's going to depend. or it might just end up being a long chapter. But right now, because they've already had some conversations they're actually supposed to have in the next chapter, I'm not positive about what I want to do. And then as I was writing it, I kind of set myself up to veer off slightly from where I had planned to go. And I'm going to follow that path for a little bit, and I'm going to see where it takes me. And I'm going to follow this thread that I put down yesterday that I hadn't even thought of when I was outlining the book. And this is one of the things that I like and dislike. It's a double-edged sword, right? I like that I give myself the freedom in my outlines to be able to do this, to be able to branch off and follow this completely unknown path. And I feel like it's not like I'm changing the ending of the novel or anything like that. I feel like instead of going from point A to point B to point C, I'm going from point A to point E to point G to point C. Does that make sense? I'm going to still end up in the same place, but I feel like instead of going this way, I'm going to go this way or that way or whatever. I'm still going to go to the same place, but the scenes that I wasn't real sure about, I basically just had, I don't remember exactly what I had put it in the outline, but basically two of the characters were just supposed to sightsee and just travel around a little bit to kind of just waste time, basically. And instead of them doing that, I think I'm going to go a different route with it. And I think that might work better for the story. I feel like it'll move the plot along faster. I think that was a pretty weak point in my outline where I was like, well, I guess I'll just have them drive around the countryside and just look at stuff. I don't know. It's mainly me coming to the point in my novel where I'm veering off my outline just a little bit. And I have done it before and I've come back to it, and now I've veered off again. And I said, I believe it was in week 1, where I talk about that I felt the story was taking too long to get started, that I felt that it was kind of boring. It was just taking too long to get there. Originally, when I outlined it, it was 27 chapters or something. And I'm already up to chapter 18. And I took out 3 or 4 chapters. And I feel like I might end up having to cut more at the beginning because I do feel like it might be taking too long to get to the meat of the story. So, per my outline, I'm getting close to the end. I've only got about 5 chapters left. And so now I've kind of written myself not into a bad spot, but where I am with the story. And this happens every time. And I think it's because I am what, some people call an underwriter. I don't put as much detail in the story the first time through, unless it's detail about describing places. I love to describe places, and if you're a reader of any of my books, you will have seen I love to describe places. I describe outfits, I describe hairstyles, I describe, rooms and things, and I do cut some of that out because it's not needed, but I just like to describe it. So yeah, I've got basically only about 5 more chapters to write of the book, and I'm only at 33,000 words, so I know that I can't be that close to done. I feel like when I outlined it, I went a little light in the later chapters because a lot of stuff needs to happen in, the quote-unquote last 5 chapters. A lot of stuff. And where I'm at is I'm building up to the climax, right? There was just, I talked about the other day, there was just a huge battle that lasted for 2 chapters. Originally, it only lasted 1 chapter in my outline. So that expanded. And then now there's the whole conversation with the people that they had interrogated. And then they have to follow this other thread through here. And then there still has to be another, well, it doesn't have to be, but there is. And then there's still another big battle that they're going to fight towards the end. And it's going to be even bigger than the previous one that I did. So that one's going to take at least 2 chapters more than likely as well. And I only give it 1 chapter in my outline. And my outline only goes to a certain point, but I think that I didn't leave myself enough room at the end in some of those to really give enough time to the events that happen. Does that make sense? So I think even though I've only got, as I've said before, about 5 more chapters to write, I think that that's inaccurate. And I think that following this new thread that I'm going on, I'm going to have to expand a little bit. And I was just working on, before I sat down to film this clip to explain what I've done to myself. I was just sitting down to kind of go over the outline again from here to the end, looking at the old outline, but I'm writing down like a new outline. It's like, okay, this is where I'm going. I see that. But to get there, I'm not going to do this anymore. This is the way I'm going to get there. You know, I'm going to follow that other path. So I'm having to re-outline the end of the book. And I don't mind to do that. I'm totally fine to go through the outline again. There's also a couple things that I thought of after I wrote the outline initially back in October that I thought, well, I need to make sure I add that to the end. And I penciled it in, but I didn't give myself like a specific place in the end to put it. Because it's either going at the end of this book or it's going to be at the beginning of the next book, because it is a series. As they say, the stuff's going to hit the fan in the end of this book, and it's kind of going to almost blow the whole series open, and everything that the readers have thought they've known is all going to be put to the test in the book that I'm writing now. And I can't wait until it gets out there and people start to read it and they're like, I never saw that coming. Like, I hope that's the reaction of, I never saw that coming. Or maybe they will. Maybe my foreshadowing is too blatant and they'll notice it right away. Because I do leave Easter eggs through the series, or through the first couple books, about where I'm going. But at the same time, where I'm going is not somewhere that that maybe the reader will have seen coming. And I hope that that's the case, that it is a surprise. But that was just a really long update to share that I've basically gone off script of my outline, and now I'm having to redo it a little bit to get back to where I need to be. And like I said, I'm not mad about it. I will figure it out, and hopefully the book will be all the better for it. But I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to get back to my outline and at least figure out the next chapter, maybe the next couple chapters, see where I'm heading. And then I'm going to get some writing done and try to knock out another chapter or so. So I'll check in with you in a little bit. So I'm just updating my word count. I just spent some time writing and working on my outline like I said I was going to. I just outlined the next couple chapters. I'm just kind of going to let the story move almost organically, I guess I would say, to see where we're going to go. Like I said, I know how I want the story to end. I know where I'm going to end up. But just to get there, I think I might just wait and see how it goes. Kind of pantsing my way through it. I did outline a little bit of just things that need to happen to get there, but we'll see how we go. But today I wrote 2,189 words, and so I'll update my Nano. So my total right now for my manuscript is 36,464. So that puts me still continuing to be on track for the rest of the month. As I've said before, I don't usually write too much on the weekends. They're kind of my time to spend with my family and just relax. I will be writing a little bit since my husband will be home, and then the kids have NTI starting on Monday until January. So I'm not going to have the time during the day while they're at school anymore to get my writing done. So I'll probably try to take advantage of it some this weekend to get some words in while he's home, and I can, put some headphones on and let him take care of the kids and let me focus on writing. But that's where I'm at for today, and that's all I'm going to write today, more than likely. I was feeling pretty good yesterday, in a pretty good mood. I recorded a video and got a whole bunch of stuff done, but I might have overdone it because my neck has been really sore. It felt good yesterday, so I think I may have strained it a little. Last night I had to sneeze, and as soon as I sneezed, my entire neck just seized up, and it hurt so bad. How terrible is it that just a simple sneeze and it made my neck hurt? My neck will be fine. I have been to a doctor about it. It's fine. But I'm about 3,000 words ahead of where Nano says I should be to get 50,000 this month. So that's good. It's still got me finishing a little bit early, which is fine. But like I said, I'm just kind of using this more as a guideline to make me accountable to write every day to get some words on the page, because I want to finish this novel hopefully this month, so that, like I said, so that next month I can devote to editing book 2 and working on getting it ready to be published next year. You all write down in the comments and let me know how you all are doing. And you all have any stumbling blocks like I've had this week to get any kind of word count in? If so, put them down below, and I'll when I read them, I'll send good positive vibes your way. That is all for today, and I will check in again with you all tomorrow. Hey, I'm just going to end the vlog here. Today, my final word count for the day was 38,196. That's pretty good. I'm still on track to hit my 50K word goal for the month. How is everybody doing with their own goals? How is your word count coming along? Has anybody had any problems? Like I mentioned previously, you know, I've had issues with my outline lately, and I'm still a little bit stumbling over it, so we're still working on that. But just let me know how you all are doing. And if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. You can follow me on my other platforms. They're going to be linked below, as well as my debut novel. I'll have the Amazon link down below if anybody wants to check it out. And until then, I will see you all later. Bye.